Hey guys, it's your boy Silver, and welcome to an episode, episode 1 now of Silver Senpai. And in these episodes, I wanted to basically talk about the movies and the books and the comics and the manga and the anime that I am going through currently day by day, and sometimes I'll include a couple of other comments related to other things happening in the world. Let's see how this goes, and if you guys like this sort of content, please let me know, right? Leave a comment, but definitely, might as well, since you're already here listening to this, hit that subscribe button, and you could also hit that like button. Anyways, I wanted to talk to you guys about SuperGirl. I went to go see this movie recently. The movie, I was expecting it to be pretty bad, considering that I had been hearing that nobody liked this movie and it was doing poorly at the boxes. It was to my surprise to see that this movie was actually not too bad. I really enjoyed this new Kara, Zor-el, and she was not the sweet girl that I am used to seeing or experiencing when I watch anything Supergirl related. In the adventures of Superman, I got to see always this very put together, petite, kind of all-American blonde girl who was kind of snarky, was kind of silly, but never as dark as this Kara was. This Kara was very, very damaged from the loss of Krypton and her parents, and the way that the way that the movie puts her, it relates to another different comic, a whole different Kara, where her and her family and some Kryptonians survive via the shielding mechanism that allows a part of Krypton's city to be taken out into space and to survive the explosion. And she gets to see how her mom is dying of kryptonium, and she gets to see how her dad is also dying, but he's kind of basically made the decision that he is going to try to let his daughter survive, and he found a way to build a pod similar to how Superman escaped, so that she can also get out of there and hopefully reunite with Superman at Earth, which is played by David Cornsweet from the Superman movie that came out this last year, around 2025, which the movie itself, it was okay, but that's for another episode. Anyways, Kara, played by Millie Alcock, who did a stellar job portraying this very damaged and pained girl from Krypton. She brought this whole new different image to Kara. To me, when I saw her and I started watching the movie, it brought the term that I think has been coming around lately on social media and in Gen Z and Gen Alpha. I believe it's girl failure. And all she's doing is going on these weird, crazy alcohol binges in different planets. But planets that are specific to have red suns, similar to the sun from Krypton, that would basically make them powerless. And this way she could feel the alcohol and the pain, and she could just kind of bleed out this sort of emptiness that she kept on feeling. And I get it. survivor's remorse is a thing for a lot of people, and I believe that's what she was going through. I also enjoyed the look of the whole kind of space westerner thing that she had going on. It was pretty cool, but it was starting to look a little bit like Guardians of the Galaxy. I think the director Craig Gillespie went a little bit too Marvel there, and for a second I was like, is Kara Star-Lord? Because she had the huge trench coat, she had the little the headset with the cassette player. It was too similar, man. Those sort of details, I don't think it was necessary in my opinion, but I digress. Millie Alcock did a great job portraying a very tortured Kara, who did not want to have her powers, who wanted to feel her pain and maybe find some sort of weird comfort in the way that she was hurting herself. But with all things in life, even though we try to run away from the people that we really are, she is eventually put in a situation to help this girl named Ruthie, played by Mary Knoll, who also did a great job. Ruthie is the youngest in a clan of people who make very precious weapons. And in a scene, we're shown how her family is basically murdered by the main antagonist of the story. And it all basically came out, they all died because of her brother not knowing that, that was happening. And it just, one thing led to another, and they were all killed and she survived. So now Ruthie goes out into the wilds of space and tries to find somebody that'll help her avenge her family, because the girl is filled with rage, similar to Kara. And I feel like whatever forces in the DC universe see that, and they put them both together so that they get both healed. And they go through this entire adventure of an experience of having to kind of like find how they're both kind of the same, but still at the same time different. The movie also got us the ability to see Lobo, right? Which is another big old school DC character, played by Jason Momoa. I honestly, the guy does a good job with Lobo. However, I will say that Gillespie could have let Lobo breathe a little bit more. Like he had some good action scenes throughout the movie, but there's a point where he gets captured, and then I'm like, yeah, that doesn't check out with what would happen to Lobo. But it's all for the plot, because at some point Ruthie gets captured too and ends up in the same spot as Lobo. So I get it. That is kind of maybe for the plot, but a little unrealistic for me. Another character that I forgot to mention was Crypto the dog, the super dog. And this new Crypto is a little bit different because I don't really know what breed he is. He kind of looks like a poodle, but then not really, because he's got froofs, little fluffy froofs, and that's cute, and that's fine. But again, going back to DC, the comics and the animation, he looked more like a Labrador to me, which kind of goes a little bit more with the image of Superman. But in here, they were like, yeah, let's just make this girl the stereotypical white girl who has a dog, and then she's just trying to find herself, and in the process she gets to drink a lot, make a lot of mistakes, lives in a trash pile. It was very stereotypical. It almost felt like a jab to a lot of these women who have this sort of lifestyle in their 20s. That's what it reminded me of. Every ex-girlfriend that I had in my 20s, who owned a dog and their lives were a mess and didn't know what they want. That's basically what Kara was. And I get that in a way it makes her more human, even though she's basically not human. She's Kryptonian. I think it missed the point by doing that to her. But I get it. I understand what the story was and what they were trying to do and how damaged they were trying to make her. But I don't think they had to make her a stereotype, in my opinion. Overall, though it's not doing great at the box office, it has opportunities. It could have been better. And I know that sounds terrible. I don't like saying that because, everything is always hindsight 2020 clear and it could have been done better. But I just feel like Supergirl deserved a little more love, and she did not deserve that sort of stereotype. Aside from that, the action scenes were really great. They were a lot of fun. It's always good to see things getting punched, thrown, and torn apart or lasered through. But they did not need to make her into an angry brat. They could have left all the damage that they made her, that they showed that she had gone through, but they could have skipped the stereotypes, I guess. Also, Krypto, though he is adorable and it is funny to see him being, so disruptive. Krypto was like the model dog also, and is supposed to be super well trained and, the model dog. But here it looks like they also made him a dog failure and he was all over the place. You guys should check out this movie. You should let me know what you think, and you should definitely comment. But it is a movie that I believe you should give it a chance. Also, go support your local theaters. They need it. All right. Again, thank you so much for listening in. Don't forget to hit follow, like, subscribe. Nos vemos.